Today we're moving up in the world, literally.
We bought scaffolding and we're gonna try and build it. So, let's go! So I created a little container garden at the back entrance, which at the moment is basically our front entrance because it's the entrance that we only use. And I was gifted some plants from neighbors, and I bought some plants at the garden center. And yeah, I made a little purple pink planter garden. I hesitated a lot whether or not I should, because this back entrance is actually one of the most ugly places at the moment. The back door, this grayish facade that's also broken, the attic up there, which is also well, in dire need of repairs and everything. This is not a pretty entrance. And at first I was like, why would I try to make it more pretty if it's so ugly? And then I had to tell myself that this house and this whole place at the moment has more ugly than it has beautiful. And if I wait to do stuff like create a pretty little corner somewhere until everything is fixed and repaired and made beautiful again, then it will be years before I get to play with plants and decorations and all of that. So I just made some pretty planters, put them up against a very ugly wall, and still every day now when I enter and leave the house, I see these flowers greeting me, and that makes me happy, which just reinforces the idea that I shouldn't wait for things to be finished before I start making them more pretty. I hope you agree. Would you? Would you do this? Tell me in the comments if you would put up pretty flowering plants against the most ugly wall of your home. Leave us a comment and let us know. You may be wondering why I made a little patch of garden in the middle of this big green space. The reason is that we are not going to build out our garden just yet. We have lots and lots of plants. I want a vegetable patch and I want a fruit garden, but we have to do so much maintenance on the house and the barns yet, and that will mean that we will be driving with heavy equipment around here. So just designing the garden just yet is still too early. But I couldn't resist. I've already bought lots of little plants for the garden all through the summer, and I use them to make some pretty containers, planters for our terrace. And I wanted to make sure that those little plants have the best opportunity to survive winter. And that's why I made this little patch. I just dug up the grass, and there was quite a good soil underneath, which made me very happy. And then I just planted them pretty close together, actually too close. And then I put some cardboard in between to help me fight the weeds that will be growing up underneath. So I put some simple layer of cardboard all between the plants, and then I covered that up with some hay some old hay that we have in the barn, to keep the moisture in the soil, to keep my plants a little bit extra warm during the winter, and make sure that the winds, because it's always blowing here, that the winds won't dry out the soil too much. And so I have some kitchen herbs here, and some different plants. They're all perennials, so they should be able to survive winter. And hopefully next year or the year after, I can give them their proper place in a fully beautiful flower garden.
Okay, we've done the heavy lifting. All the parts are spread out here. Now let's build this thing. We found the instruction manual. So how hard can it be, right?
We have now been busy for about an hour, and we've only got the wheels installed, basically. Perfect timing! This is a lot more difficult than we thought, and we have these kind of images to work with. Let me show you. I don't know if you can see, but they are incredibly small and incredibly not detailed, and it's difficult. But we carry on. See you on the other side.
Okay, that's it for today. We have achieved the goal of knowing how to build this thing. It took us a lot longer than we initially hoped it would, but we're there. So tomorrow we'll build it again. We've made some mistakes, we've learned from them. We build it again to so that we can clear up that little attic over there. See you tomorrow. It's a wonderful day. We've lots of energy. Welcome to take 2 of scaffolding building. Okay, phase 1 complete. We didn't really make a dent into all the junk that was up there, but we cleared most of the floor. I'm really excited for today. I've been waiting for this for quite some time. Finally, we get to clean up that small attic over there behind me. All the preparations are done. We have the scaffolding, the floor has been cleared. So now finally I get to round up all that small stuff that's lying around there. Batch 1 completed, and Marianne unearthed some treasures already. Okay, next batch. Batch number 2 has been processed. We're about halfway there in the little attic. Some nice finds. I'll let Marianne explain what she wants to do with it later. But for now, we're gonna have a little bit of lunch and carry on. Okay, so when we went to get some lunch, it turned out to be 4 o'clock in the afternoon. We totally lost track of time. We made an early dinner and called it a day. Before we get started today, let me update you on the results of the roof work. Actually, on the roof of the house, 3 holes were filled, 3 leaks I should say, were repaired. The barn was even worse. The chimney that you saw was torn down was basically Swiss cheese, and water could freely enter the building through cracks and crevices all along that chimney. So it had to be removed. And on the barn roof there were several other leaks that have been repaired. And one of the windows on top of the roof had a broken glass pane, so that had been repaired as well. You can imagine that a lot of water was able to enter through a broken glass pane. Glad that's sorted out.
After a couple of hours of mucking out that attic up there, my Halloween makeup is ready. Don't I look gruesome? Okay, while Lex is preparing the final step of this project, bricking up that wall, that door opening, let me show you what we found and what we decided to keep, because maybe I'll find a use for it. Most of what we found is wood. There are heaps of crates here, some homemade, some old, that I think I can do something with. Since this was a tool shed, it was a workstation, we found heaps and heaps of old tools, both for woodworking as well as for the farm. We decided to keep a lot of those. Not that we know what to do with it, but who knows. There are two benches that are also kind of like that one. That is a bench that someone explained to us is also, there was a pedal something there so that they can stretch, I don't know, stretch it, whatever, use it. There is the tapestry that I showed you in the first video. It's very damaged. It is very damaged, and I don't know, maybe can save a little piece of it and do some upholstery with it. Another nice find was this old mustard bucket that I liked, and some crates that I think were from a stove or something. They're ceramic drawers, actually. They're not crates, they're drawers. And let me show you some other bits and bobs. This is an animal tray, and this one was actually quite neat. I don't know if the video can show it off, but this was underneath the stove, and it's a very heavy metal plate that I think they used to have on walls behind stoves, and it's completely detailed with all kinds of engravings. So we might have to see if we can bring those engravings up front. All in all, not entirely sure if I'll end up using any of this or all of it. I don't know, but I can always throw it out if I don't find a use for it. But considering that we were busy for 3 days, it's a limited stash of goodies.
We did it! Biggest job so far, I would say.